All right, I'm going to get a couple of responses to this. The first of which is going to be, why the hell are you watching this stuff, John? And I have no good answer to you other than I am a brand addicted coomer. I'm sorry. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. And I hope you'll forgive me for this. Number two, of course, I expect the woke are not going to enjoy my take here. It's pretty interesting. And this is just from a writer's perspective. I'm a science fiction writer, and I thought, wow, this really exemplifies everything we've been trying to do in the Iron Age and in the Pulp Revolution to try to like bring things back to what goodness is in fiction storytelling. And it actually highlights the annoying terribleness in storytelling too. Thank you, Star Trek franchise, for doing this for me. I did the legwork so I can talk about this right here. All right, if you guys are new to the channel, my name is John Delarose. I am a #1 best-selling author, and I'm an award-winning comic creator, but this is my science fiction novel series, The Stars Entwined. And this is a space opera series, high action adventure. They go off, heroes act like heroes. They bring two peoples together. It is everything Star Trek really should be. And I'm going to be continuing this series going forward with a new twist. I want to get back into space exploration because I think that's what made things great. I had a great idea this morning for a plot, which is going to feel like a good old-fashioned Next Generation episode. With its own twist on it, of course. So we'll get into this right now. Read the backstory with this trilogy right here, The Orician War, so you can learn about my science fiction universe. It's on Amazon. It's only $4.99 for an ebook, so check it out today. Enjoy the books. Thank you so much. All of my links to my books and all that are in the description below. If you want to support the writing and the channel, that's what we're here to do, is change culture, not just talk about it. All right, so I started watching Star Trek Picard after everybody's already finished it. Yellow Flash, my good friend, hailed its praises. And, I kind of mocked him for that in a video. And Yellow Flash, you were kind of right. I'm sorry. All right. It's actually pretty good. Now, I skipped over the rest of Picard. I didn't watch it. I was told you could just watch season 3 and not have to deal with the rest, and you can. You can definitely jump in right there, which is great. I reward the good content. Don't watch the bad content. Sounds great to me. But I've been slowly also making my way through Discovery, and I will go back to Picard at some point, I guess, because I like I said, I'm addicted to Star Trek. I have every Star Trek comic in this like graphic novel collection. I'll do a video on that at some point too. I've got all the novelizations from their like old universe. It's my deal. So here it is. We were going over. I was looking at Star Trek Discovery season 4, episode 5. I've been slow. I like watch it when I'm doing dishes or something like that, where I'm like can half pay attention because it is a slog. It is some of the worst television storytelling, some of the worst science fiction I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, what's the difference between the two? It's very, very simple, and this is what's awesome to be able to show this from a writing perspective on how to create good stories and how to create good things. One, the gravitas, I mean, just like from the actors, the gravitas of these characters, just from Patrick Stewart and Jonathan Frakes, and even Gates McFadden, like are so much more, even as like 80, 90-year-old people who like really like are hobbling around, their sort of action gravitas is way better than like this like string bean alien guy who's like got a stick up his ass. And then this guy who has other things up his behind, which they remind you of every 5 seconds in the show. It's pretty gross. But here it is, Discovery. Like I was watching this, and like they've got to evacuate this thing. There's this like giant menacing threat, like world killer out there. Sounds normal. For a science fiction show. But what they did is they spent the entire episode where this gay guy here hung out with his other gay lover who's the doctor, and all they did was talk about how they felt and how like they're overwhelmed and how they like need a break and how they need to like focus on their mental health. And it's like they sounded like Zoomer girls on TikTok, doing their like therapy sessions. Rather than space explorers who are badass, who are, saving the galaxy. I mean, they just got out of like a Klingon war and saved the galaxy multiple times, then thrust themselves 1,000 years into the future up until this point. And they're sitting here like, oh, but how does it make you feel? And those are not heroes. It's boring to watch. It's insufferable. It makes you roll your eyes. People who are great men like General Patton going out there and really just like doing something, or if you're exploring like your Marco Polo or Christopher Columbus or whatever, they're not sitting there just like being like, I need to find some other purpose outside of my work. And that's actually what they said in the show. You are like the premier space explorers for humanity, trying to explore strange new worlds, boldly go where no one has gone before, and yet you need to find something out of your work to give you purpose. It's such a like modernist, nihilistic sort of take where it's like, oh my gosh, these people are really messed up. Men should find a lot of purpose in their work, and when men accomplish good work, they should be satisfied in that. And that is the problem that a lot of men have these days, is that we've been feminized as a society to the point where everybody's sitting around bitching about feelings all the time, like women, and that's what these men do in this show. It's really, really insufferable. Beyond that, they don't even rescue the people at the end. They like leave someone to die because he doesn't want to leave, and they go, it's his choice, and we just have to respect his agency. Oh my gosh, assisted suicide is now a cool thing. In the old days, they would do everything they can to get those people off there. They wouldn't forcibly remove them, but gosh, they would work their hardest. They wouldn't stop arguing with them. They worked their hardest to try to get those people out of there in those types of situations. Before, they had a Deep Space Nine episode, and like the characters like really almost killed themselves to get this person out of there. Even if it failed, they did all they could. The Discovery crew just gives up and is like, well, it's his choice. Gotta respect it. It's quite the opposite. These are people who give up and whine. They're not action heroes. Now let's contrast that with Picard. Picard goes into this situation where just because he got a hail from Beverly, he's just going out into this nebula outside of Federation space where he's out of jurisdiction. He faces up against a giant warship. He's like, let's face it head on. Let's deal with it, even though we're outmanned and outgunned. We're gonna figure it out. We always do. We'll trudge forward ahead. Gosh, it feels like a John Wayne movie, but even cooler. So this 80-year-old white dude is able to just go out there. He's not sitting there crying and reflecting on his emotions and sitting there being like, gosh, I really need Deanna to tell me to take a break sometimes. No, he's out there facing the world head on, and he has purpose, even at his advanced age, to be able to do something that's great. Now, of course, they make mistakes along the way, and it's not the way it used to be. And of course, they show that because these are like aging action heroes, and that doesn't work out very well. But at the end of the day, they charge through. They do what they have to do. They come up with their technobabble solution, and it feels good when the characters win at the end of the day. And that is the big difference between these sort of deals. It is men confronting situations head on and making things work, even at the gravest of odds. Now, Discovery doesn't even have a threat against the ship, really. There's just this threat roaming around that doesn't even seem to notice them as of this episode. And they're analyzing it, and then they're feeling bad because like this isn't just a natural phenomenon. It's someone who actually is out there trying to kill people. Can you believe it? I mean, they literally talk like that over the episode. It is navel gazing. They're just looking at their own identities and looking at their own feelings rather than actually going out and exploring into space. This is not heroism. It's just crap. And it's something that you would expect to find, like I said, on a Zoomer Girls TikTok. So this exemplifies how you can do something right and how you can do something so wrong in the exact same series with like the exact same dude, Kurtzman, in charge. So it is very easy to just fix all this stuff. Picard Season 3 showed that if they want to, at any moment, they can just flip a switch, stop the identity politics crap all the time, stop the like virtue signaling for the alphabet shit, and stop all of the navel gazing, and then actually get into something actually good that people will want to watch and identify with heroes. It's very easy to do, and it's pretty great. So I love it from the writing perspective because it just solidifies what we need to do in the Iron Age, what we need to do with our independent media, is we need to do more stuff in the vein of Picard Season 3, maybe even go a step further than what they've done in this, and actually make great pulp products again like they used to do back in the day. Edgar Rice Burroughs with The Princess of Mars and things like that. I always say the formula is very easy. Go out there, beat up the bad guy, save the day, and get the girl. It's pretty easy. You'd think it is at the end. All right, here it is. Please check out my books if you agree with my thoughts on storytelling. Of course, hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment down below with what you think about all this. Am I on the right track? Love to hear from you. Let's talk soon.